Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy, Kennedy. I had a few conversations, mainly on TikTok. I have a lot of conversations with people explaining to me how, because I don't believe in a certain ideology, I am in the wrong automatically. And I try to always explain how that's a bit of a supremacist stance on things, right? Like, there's a lot of different ideologies in this world. There's 8 billion people on this planet. um, they all might not have the same thought processes, life experiences, even geographic locations that they had grown up. Because all these things have an effect on who you are, what you believe, and things like that. So I myself, I'm a Somali man. However, I like to call myself a Somali revert, which is reverting back to what my ancestors believed in terms of my what I like to call my spiritual identity, if you will. Now, this, of course, ruffles a lot of feathers. A lot of people have questions. A lot of people want to explain to me how, the many ways I'm wrong. And if I try to explain to them using the same logic, right? If I try to explain to them why they are in the wrong as well, it's almost as though they don't hear it. They don't like. They don't. What's the word I'm looking for? They don't. They not that they're just not hearing me. It's just that they just don't. You know. They. How can I say this actually? Because it is kind of odd. It's not that they don't hear me, is that they don't even consider what it is that I'm saying, even though I'm just basically giving back what they're saying themselves, right? So I'm just turning the table around. So, but it's impossible for them to even fathom this. So, scouring the internet, I saw this conversation happening between a Jewish man and a Muslim man. I believe the Jewish guy is in the States, and the Muslim guy, who is an Afghani, is in the UK. So I thought this was a very, very telling conversation, and I was hoping that we can, watch it together and, go from there. Let's see.
Syria.
Syria? Are you Muslim? Oh, no Muslim?
Try again.
But Syrian peoples are Muslims.
Are they? When?
Right there, right there, right off the bat, he decides that Syrian people are Muslim. So he doesn't even showcase any kind of curiosity as to how come someone from Syria is not a Muslim. He doesn't even that doesn't even enter his mind. He doesn't even pause to kind of reflect on that. He just comes out and blurts out, "Well, Syrian people are Muslim," and he's stating it as a matter of fact. He's stating it as a matter of um, just facts. He's not even considering why. How come? Let's continue watching.
When did they become Muslim?
Yes, yes.
When? When did they
Yeah,
become
what's
Muslim?
Syria
Mhm.
or Syria?
Syria, Syria, نفس الشيء.
If
Same thing. Damascus.
you speak Arabic, but you are not Muslim.
Exactly.
Why?
It's track number two. He says, "You speak Arabic, but you're not Muslim." So I don't know if it's a lack of, I'm not sure if it's a lack of, you know, uh, maybe it's a lack of just knowing what's going on. Maybe it's a lack of just not knowing what it is that's happening. Maybe it's a lack of interest. Maybe he's just not interested. He says, "You speak Arabic and you're not Muslim. How come?" That for me. That's weird because, and then when you say I feel like Islam is for Arab people. Most Muslim, I believe, even including this man, would basically say Islam is not for Arabs. Yet and still, he says, "But you speak Arabic and you're not Muslim. How come?" as if he's perplexed by this. He doesn't understand it. Let's continue watching because this is a great video.
Why what? I mean, I think I'm breaking that little brain of yours. Why what?
What's your name?
Ibrahim.
Ibrahim?
Ibrahim.
Your name is like Muslims.
No, like Jewish.
All right. So you're from Syria. You're Muslim. No, I'm not. Oh, you speak Arabic. You're Muslim. No, I'm not. Oh, your name is Ibrahim. You're Muslim. No, I'm not. It's a complete lack of self-awareness. It's a complete so because in his mind, right, to be Arab, to be from Syria, and to your name being Ibrahim, those are all he just kind of check marks all those things, and he says, well, according to this list of things, you speak Arabic, you're from Syria, and your name is Ibrahim. You're Muslim. Like there's no other way that you're not Muslim. And it's hilarious because he believes it. You can tell he believes this. He's a bit embarrassed by, he's just saying it honestly. Let's continue watching.
Jews were in Syria before Muslims were in Syria, right?
No, Muslims are very good pupils.
That has nothing to do.
So he says Jews were in Syria before Muslims were in Syria. Yeah, Jews were in Syria even before Islam was, was a thing, right? But this guy then jumps, and he jumps somewhere else. He says, oh, Muslim people are very good people. That has nothing to do with anything. So he's placing himself automatically in the position of a victim. He's victimizing himself with no reason at all. This guy had never said that Muslims were bad people. He didn't say any of that. He just said, no, Jewish people were there before Islam. And he goes, no, Muslims are very good people. Very interesting.
I never said Muslims are bad people, but you're like surprised that I'm a Jew and I'm from Syria. But in reality, Jews were in Syria before the Muslim conquest came and colonized, Arabized, and Islamized Syria.
Yeah.
You should learn your history. It would help.
You live in Israel?
No, I live in America.
America.
But I love Israel.
Do you know where I'm from? Yes. It's near.
Afghanistan.
Yeah, it's Afghanistan.
You like the Taliban?
Yeah, I like them.
You like Al-Qaeda?
No, Al-Qaeda, no. Just Taliban.
Yeah. Are you a Taliban? You agree with the laws in Afghanistan? Like women shouldn't go to school. Are you okay with that?
Yes, I agree with some. I agree with some rules, but not with all of them.
Do you agree that women should not be educated?
No, I disagree with this.
You disagree. So where do you agree more with UK? Because I see you're from the UK. Do you agree more with the UK or with Afghanistani law?
Both, but Afghanistani laws are like God there in our own country.
Well, let me ask you, as a Muslim living in the UK, would you want to turn the UK into a Muslim country?
Yeah, I want. One day I will do it.
He said, yeah, I want. And one day I will do it. Did you catch that? He said, yes, I want. And one day I will do it. Now, I can tell this guy is not, he's not menacing, right? He's not, at least he doesn't look like he's menacing to me. But he truly believes this. He said, yes, I want, like he didn't even hesitate. He's like, yes, I do want that. And one day I will make it so. That's supremacy. That's supremacy because It's the lack of awareness, self-awareness. He had to leave his own country with whom, he says that he's with the Taliban. That might be because he's got family back home. He can't really just outright say he doesn't agree with the Taliban, because there might be repercussions, because they function much more like a gang, right? And so he would be afraid of that. But he left for whatever reason. He left Afghanistan. He's now in the UK. And the question was, would you want to make the UK a Muslim country? And he said, yes, I want. And one day I will do so. I will do that. Ibrahim is gonna do very well in this conversation. He's doing it very well. So I'll let him do his thing, but I'll pop in to say my piece as well, because it's hilarious. You can't believe it. Let's continue watching.
One day you
Yeah.
will make the UK a Muslim country. I mean, you guys already pretty much colonized it.
Yes.
So you understand
Yeah.
how
We are.
Islamic. So now, me being a
Yeah.
Jew from Syria shouldn't confuse you, because you're understanding how your people colonize and take over other people's lands.
hmm
Like you came and took, like Muslims came and Arabized and Islamized Syria. You, a Muslim
Yeah.
man, came from Afghanistan and you want to colonize and Islamize the UK. You shouldn't be shy
Yeah.
about your desire.
No, I never shy about this. I'm proud of my
So
religion.
so so
So
now is it fair for me to say that Islamists or Muslims even are the biggest colonizers in the world today?
what do you mean by colonizers? I
Colonizers,
didn't
like what
catch
you're
it.
doing. You came from a different country. You want to take over this country. You want to change its laws. You want to make it
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want the British people to
Mm,
live under you, right? You want Islam here and then Christians here in Britain, right?
yeah. But it's our job to invite people to Islam.
You're not a
See, there you go. He said, and one thing I like about this conversation, and honestly, I think Ibrahim is doing a bang on job. But what I like about this conversation is that this guy from Afghanistan, he's just being honest. Like you can see, he's just being honest. He's just going by the script that he's been given. I don't even see any malice in this guy. I don't see any malice. I don't see any, I want to take things over. I don't see that kind of ambition in him. He's just regurgitating what he's been told. He's just regurgitating what he thinks. He literally said it's our job is to invite people to Islam. Like it's a job. He sees it as an actual job, right? Payment, Jannah. I guess that's what the payment is. So he doesn't even come off as someone that's mean or anything like that. He's just basically saying this is what I'm supposed to do, and he doesn't shy away from it. So yeah, let's continue on.
As
inviting
Prophet
me.
Muhammad
Yeah,
said.
but Prophet Muhammad, it's not an invitation when you tell me if I don't join, you're going to chop my head off or make me pay a tax.
No, never
No,
we say.
you never said that.
No,
The kafar never got their
no.
heads chopped off in the Middle Ages. You're wrong.
It's
So why
about
did you know what a dhimmi is?
what?
Dhimmi,
What means?
a dhimmi. Do you know what a dhimmi is?
No, I
People
don't
of the
know.
book. You know that Jews and Christians, when we lived under Islamic
Yeah.
lands, we had to pay a tax, a special tax called the jizya, right?
Yeah, it's good. I know.
Okay, you
Jizya.
know. Okay, now,
Yes.
do you know why Zoroastrians were begging to be a dhimmi? Because they didn't get that option. Their heads would have been chopped off. It was looked as a mercy. Yes.
You cut the Islamic rules.
Okay, 1 minute. Sorry, you were breaking up.
I
Go.
say that want to show people that Islam is bad, but in reality, Islam is not like this. Islam is very good relation, and when you read books and when you see the past about when you read
When you read books, he says, and that in itself doesn't make sense because he never really says which books. He never really says what where should we go and read about these things. For those that don't know, a dhimmi status. Let me explain that for a second, and you can look it up. A dhimmi status is once the the Muslim army has taken over a country, right? Let's say they take over Syria. Now in Syria, there was Jews, there was Christians, and there was people like all around. There's Zoroastrians, there's all kinds of maybe Buddhists, maybe like people from different you know religious background. Islam recognizes Judaism and Christianity because Islam fits itself as the third Abrahamic religion. So the Abrahamic religion, they're called, like the Christians and the Jews, they're called the people of the book. Now when they take over a place like Syria, let's say, they will afford some advantages to the so-called people of the book. They will say, well, look, you can have your own things. We're not going to destroy anything. You just can't build any churches or synagogues. You can't preach your religion. And, you have to wear something that differentiates you so we see, that you are different. And you have to pay a special tax, which is basically extortion money, kind of like the mafia does, They call it protection money, but the protection is from them, essentially, right? So you pay a dhimmi tax. This tax historically was so much so that it made a lot of people simply just convert to Islam, because if you were a Muslim, then you didn't have to pay that tax, right? You have other things that you have to do as a Muslim, but you were not, it wasn't punitive. And if you look it up, you're going to see that paying the tax was came with a form of shaming as well. You were shamed into it. So that's what the dhimmi status is, right? So that's what Ibrahim is talking about. But let's carry on and see where this conversation goes, because now the Afghani guy has gone into reading books and things like that. So let's just see where this goes.
About Prophet Muhammad,
It's not
you will
about
see that he,
no. It's not about whether Islam is bad or good. It's about, I am a Jew, and this is, let's
Yeah.
say they're Christians. I'm not Christian, right? In England, they're Christian. It's a Christian country. What to me is, you're coming in and you're saying you shouldn't be a Christian country. I'm going to change you, and you should be Muslim. You should be an Islamic state. And why the hell should it be? Why do you think that you're right and they're wrong? You should respect them and respect the laws in a country where you live. And when you come to the UK, you should say, how can I assimilate into this culture? I'm not asking you to abandon your religion, but asking you to assimilate to the culture of the United Kingdoms. What you told me is that you wish and you want, and your dream is that you can come to the UK and then you can make the UK an Islamic country and make Sharia law the law of the country. Then go back to Afghanistan. What?
I think that was very clear, very lucid. So he does say that, right? He does say go back to Afghanistan. So that's interesting, because essentially what this Afghani guy is not getting is the fact that he is showcasing the supremacy without even knowing it, without knowing that it's a supremacy. He literally left his country to come and find something that he wanted to do, he wanted to find a better life, let's say, came to the UK, and now he wants to make the UK like the place he left. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't compute, right?
Why are you in the UK? It's a real question. I'm asking you honestly.
because in UK we have good jobs, because nowadays our countries are in bad situations.
Why?
We can't
Why are they in
support our
if Islam is the best cure? Why are the Muslim countries in such bad situation where millions of Muslims are running out and seeking refuge in Western Christian countries that you think don't know what they're doing?
That, I think, is the question of the whole video. That question by itself basically does the whole video for me. If you believe that you have the ultimate truth, if you believe that you have something so good, why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? How come it's not working? And to be a to be a supremacist, right? Like, let's say you're you can claim supremacy, right? You can say I'm supreme, but you can't just say it. You have to kind of showcase it, right? To a certain extent. Like, I mean, I don't believe in any supremacy whatsoever. But what I'm saying is, if you have the gall, if you have the audacity to claim supremacy, it should show. I can't go to the basketball court, claim I can, dunk on anybody, and I can take anyone one on one, and just sit on the bench the whole time and not even lace up the shoes and actually showcase this and back up my words. Where is that a thing? Where does that work? You can't say I am supreme at this, I'm best at this, and then we don't see it. So it's just basically claims with no evidence to back it. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting psychologically. I believe it's very interesting. So let's continue watching. But I think that is the most pertinent question of this whole video.
And you want to change the country that you came for good jobs and a good living, so you could what? Make it like the country you left from? It doesn't make sense.
Yes,
to me.
I will answer you. I will answer you why. Because nowadays Muslims are not good Muslims like in the past when in the Prophet Muhammad time, and that time they are very good Muslims, and nowadays they are not in rules, and they do not accept some rules of Islam. If they accept Quran and they make their lives in a way that Quran said, they will become more rich than Western countries.
I agree.
Western countries?
I may agree with you
Yeah.
on this, actually. So let me ask you a question.
He basically says there's this concept called the concept of paradise lost, where people, and I think people of a certain generation, let's say I'll go to my kids and I'll say, back in my days, it was the best. My generation was the best. So this concept is known as the concept of paradise lost, always thinking that things were always better back then. He said Muslims were better back then, therefore we were. No, it's not. That's not what it was. I think Islam was a empire back then, and it was taking over lands, and it was a very strong. So it had a lot of strength. That's the reason why they're looking at the thing that that's often referred to as the golden age of Islam, for example, right? There's a lot of things that's wrong with that, but anyways, Islam was an empire, and it came on the scene very, very, very in a very imposing way. So he's basically saying back then people were better Muslim. But what he really is saying is back then we had strength. It was an actual empire that was taking over lands, and there was strength backing up the words, right? But now it's just a Afghani guy in the UK talking this stuff. So it doesn't hold as much weight as it used to. That's what he's really trying to say. Now, at this point, I believe Ibrahim is going to go into the Palestine Israel thing. But what I really wanted to take from this video, and I invite you to go watch this whole. I'm going to link this video along with this recording, but go check him out. He's the rest of that conversation, go on his page to watch the whole thing. I don't want to take all of his video, but really what I was trying to highlight is the supremacy, right? Because he really explained the Islam's supremacy, or the claim to supremacy, to this Muslim guy. This guy is from Afghanistan. He doesn't agree with everything the Taliban does, such as like not letting young girls have an education, for example. However, he's in the UK. He came to the UK because there was no jobs where he's from. There was no things to think about. What I would really like you guys to do is just Google Kabul 1970 something. Just Google it, and go on YouTube and check out some videos from back then and how it looked, and then check out Kabul 2025, and just see the difference between the two. You'll be very, very impressed at the change. So anyways, this young lad came from Afghanistan, came to the UK, And now he feels like it's his job to invite people to the very thing that he escaped in a way. It just doesn't compute. And I'm not sure how else to say it except that it does not compute. And that's supremacy with no backing. That's just like a claim to supremacy. And that's really what I wanted to highlight with this video. I'll make some more, but this is the kind of thing that really kind of, makes me wonder where does it come from? And how can we have a conversation with someone that is so hell-bent in thinking that I'm supreme to you, you are always under me, yet I'm going to come to you for help? Like, I don't ask people that are in need themselves, I don't ask help of them, right? So if he's coming to the UK, he feels the UK really needs Islam, yet he came to the UK for a better life. The math is not mathing. So anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna clip this video, and I'll put it in the you know I'll attach it down below. But I really want you guys to think about that. What do you think? And I wanted to engage with you. Why do you think there's such supremacy or claim to a supremacy without anything to back it, aside from the concept of paradise lost? Anyways, I'm going to sign out. I'm going to leave it there for this one. So hope we see each other again. Peace. And like I always say, so nimo till we demo. Walk up.